The upcoming clash between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda, set for July 12, 2025, at Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York, has sparked intense debate among boxing analysts, promoters, and fans alike. This WBC lightweight title fight pits the technically brilliant Stevenson, a three-division champion with an unblemished 23-0 record, against the relentless power-punching Zepeda, who boasts an 82% knockout ratio and a reputation as a pressure fighter. The boxing community is buzzing with predictions, with some favoring Stevenson's defensive mastery and others highlighting Zepeda's aggressive style as a potential game-changer. The stakes are high, not only for the fighters but also for the lightweight division, which is brimming with talent and primed for blockbuster matchups. Stevenson, a 27-year-old southpaw from Newark, New Jersey, is widely regarded as one of the sport's brightest stars. His defensive prowess, likened to that of Floyd Mayweather by analysts like Sean Porter and Bob Arum, has drawn comparisons for his slick footwork, precise jab, and ability to neutralize opponents. Porter, a former world champion, recounted watching Stevenson spar and dominate both a mover and a pressure fighter with ease, describing his ability to stop you from doing what you do as reminiscent of Mayweather's prime. Arum, who promoted Stevenson until 2024, echoed this sentiment, calling him a mirror image of Mayweather, albeit with the potential for a more dynamic offensive arsenal. Stevenson's Olympic silver medal in 2016 further cements his pedigree, paralleling Mayweather's bronze in 1996. Yet, despite his accolades, Stevenson has faced criticism for lackluster performances, particularly his evasive unanimous decision win over Edwin de Los Santos in November 2023, which left fans frustrated and stained his reputation as an entertainer. Zepeda, ranked third in the lightweight division by Ring magazine, is a different beast. Known for his relentless pressure and heavy hands, the Mexican contender has been chasing this fight for years, according to promoter Oscar de la Hoya. Zepeda's recent performances against Tevin Farmer, a former IBF junior lightweight champion, showcase his durability and aggression. In their first bout, Zepeda survived a fourth-round knockdown to win by split decision. In their rematch, he secured a majority decision, demonstrating improved focus and mental toughness. De la Hoya believes Zepeda's style makes this fight a candidate for Fight of the Year, arguing that his activity and power could test Stevenson in ways few have. However, Eddie Hearn, who worked with Farmer, cautions that Zepeda's aggressive approach, while dangerous, may play into Stevenson's hands, predicting a late stoppage as Stevenson picks him apart. The fight's dynamics are further complicated by external factors, notably the decision by Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority chief, Turki Al-Sheikh, to reduce the ring size. This move, intended to force more action, could limit Stevenson's ability to use lateral movement, a cornerstone of his defensive style. Analyst Timothy Bradley expressed mixed feelings about the smaller ring, noting that it may restrict Stevenson but won't necessarily benefit Zepeda unless he can effectively close the distance. Bradley believes Stevenson's boxing IQ and adaptability will allow him to handle the pressure, potentially delivering a full treatment to Zepeda, provided his hands hold up. Stevenson's history of hand injuries, described by Bradley as brittle, remains a concern, especially after he fought through pain in his last outing, a ninth-round stoppage of late replacement Josh Padley in February 2025. Padley, a part-time electrician with a low knockout rate, was no match for Stevenson's body shots, but Zepeda's durability and power present a far greater challenge. Devin Haney, a former lightweight champion and friend of Stevenson, offered a nuanced take. While favoring Stevenson, Haney acknowledged Zepeda's size, reach, and natural lightweight status as factors that could make the fight competitive. He suggested that Stevenson must be at his peak to counter Zepeda's relentless pressure, especially if his hand injury lingers. Haney's reluctance to make a definitive prediction reflects the fight's unpredictability, with Zepeda's underdog status adding intrigue. Meanwhile, Chris Algieri of ProBox TV emphasized Stevenson's ability to control distance, arguing that he's not a runner, but a sharpshooter who can stand his ground and disarm aggressive opponents, as seen in his dominant win over Oscar Valdez. Paulie Malignaggi, another ProBox analyst, drew parallels to Guillermo Rigondeaux's mastery over Nonito Donaire, suggesting that Stevenson's precision could make Zepeda hesitant if he gets clipped early. The smaller ring size has sparked debate about its impact on the fight's outcome. Bradley believes it could force Stevenson to engage more, potentially elevating his performance by showcasing his ability to fight in the pocket. He noted that Stevenson, aware of the criticism for being overly defensive, is motivated to prove he's not a runner and can entertain fans. Malignaggi agreed, stating that defensive wizards like Stevenson can make opponents miss by mere inches, even in close quarters. However, Robert Garcia, a trainer familiar with pressure fighters, warned that Zepeda's forward march could walk him into Stevenson's counters, likening it to clipping funky toenails. Garcia believes Stevenson's ring IQ will shine, but the hand issue remains a wild card that could tilt the fight if Zepeda capitalizes. Promoters have added fuel to the narrative. De La Hoya, Zepeda's advocate, argued that the fight deserves main event status over the co-feature between Edgar Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz, citing Zepeda's hunger and activity. Berlanga, a New York native, defended his top billing, calling it a double main event and backing Stevenson to handle Zepeda's pressure. Bob Arum, despite no longer promoting Stevenson, remains a believer in his potential to surpass Mayweather, predicting a convincing win that could set up a super fight with other lightweight stars like Gervonta Davis or Raymond Maratala. The division's depth, with emerging talents like Abdullah Mason and Floyd Schofield, underscores the importance of a definitive performance from Stevenson to solidify his claim as the best at 135 pounds. Betting odds heavily favor Stevenson, with some listing him as a 10-to-1 favorite, reflecting confidence in his technical superiority. However, Zepeda's knockout power and heart keep the fight from being a foregone conclusion. Analysts like Porter and Hearn see Stevenson exploiting Zepeda's aggression, potentially stopping him late with body shots or precise counters. Others, like Bradley, warn that Zepeda's pressure could test Stevenson's resolve, especially if his hands falter. The memory of Stevenson's criticized performance against De Los Santos looms large, with Alshika's push for entertainment adding pressure to deliver a fan-friendly fight. A knockout would silence doubters, but a decision victory, while likely, may not fully repair Stevenson's reputation as a box office draw. Zepeda's camp, led by De La Hoya, remains defiant, emphasizing his warrior mentality and heavy hands. They point to his ability to keep coming forward, as seen against Farmer, as evidence that he won't be deterred by Stevenson's defense. Yet, Hearn and others argue that Farmer, while skilled, lacks Stevenson's discipline and range, making this a tougher stylistic matchup for Zepeda. The Mexican's 82% knockout rate is daunting, but Stevenson's ability to anticipate punches and control the fight's tempo could neutralize that threat. The smaller ring, while a hurdle, is unlikely to undo Stevenson's technical edge, though it may lead to a brawl that tests his willingness to trade. As the boxing world awaits the opening bell, the consensus leans toward Stevenson retaining his title, likely by decision, though a late stoppage isn't out of the question. His ability to adapt to Zepeda's pressure, manage the smaller ring, and protect his hands will be critical. For Zepeda, the path to victory lies in cutting off the ring, landing heavy shots, and exploiting any physical vulnerabilities. The fight's outcome could reshape the lightweight landscape, with a Stevenson win paving the way for unification bouts and a Zepeda upset shaking up the division. Regardless of the result, the clash of styles, Stevenson's surgical precision against Zepeda's relentless aggression, promises a compelling showdown that could define both fighters' legacies.